Instagram hashtags are a weird and wonderful thing. Some of you are getting absolutely insane reach, whilst others are getting literally zero. And so today I want to shed some light on why that is happening and how you can increase your hashtag reach in 2021 and onwards. Now, pretty much ever since the US election, hashtags have not been the same. At that point, they started tinkering with things. They at times removed the ability to see recent content on certain hashtags. And it sort of feels like ever since that point, Instagram hashtags have been a little bit all over the show. But at the end of the day, a lot of the fundamentals behind hashtags have stayed the same. And whilst hashtag reach may have gone a bit weird since the election and since Instagram made those changes, there's actually nothing that you can do to stop those changes that Instagram made. All you can focus on is the inputs you are putting into the platform to try and improve your results with hashtags and with growing your account organically in general. So that's what we're going to talk about today. All you got to do in return is drop a like on the video and subscribe if you enjoy it. I really appreciate your support. Now, I'm going to make the assumption that you have already seen my hashtag research tutorial on my channel and that you are using a quality set of hashtags following some sort of similar rules and strategies that I outlaid in that video. If your hashtags are not working, the first thing to check is your hashtag strategy. Make sure they are relevant to your content. Make sure they're not banned or flagged hashtags, which isn't actually as obvious as you may think. Make sure they're the right size. They're not too big, too competitive. They're not too small and not getting any eyeballs or impressions at all. And all of that stuff there, which sounds like a lot, but honestly, it only takes 5 or 10 minutes to do it properly if you follow along with that video. So if you haven't seen that video, go watch that up here first. If you have seen it, let's get into it. Now, if you've done your hashtag research right and you're still not seeing reach, 9 times out of 10, it's because you're probably overcomplicating things and focusing too much on the strategy and not enough on the actual content itself, which I definitely know I've been guilty of in the past. Because you can have the best hashtag strategy in the world and you can have the greatest hashtag research, all the best tools, everything like that. But at the end of the day, that's only one half of the equation. The other half, after you've found these hashtags, which is essentially search terms that you're putting your content in front of, is actually just creating great content that people who are searching for those hashtags will enjoy, and creating better content than the other creators who are currently on that hashtag and putting out content on that hashtag. Because let's be honest, at the end of the day, Instagram hashtags, YouTube SEO, Google SEO, all of this stuff, you are trying to rank at the #1 spot, which means you have to create better content than anyone else on that hashtag or on that search term if you want to rank on it and get results. Your hashtag strategy is probably fine. It just comes down to getting content that performs better. It's not the hashtags, it's likely the content. Now, I know in the past I've said make better content, and I know a ton of other people have said that as well. You probably know that, that's obvious, but it is true, which is why I'm going to go into a couple of specific things you can try and implement to make your content better so you can improve your reach with hashtags, hit the explore page, grow faster organically, just across the board. Now, the first thing it comes down to is really knowing who your audience is so you can create content that is going to serve them. You need to define who you're trying to reach on Instagram. And again, I've talked about this a lot, but it is super important. And I don't think enough people do this. I don't think enough people write down who they are trying to reach and then creating content for those people that is valuable to them so that you can amass a following of that type of person. If you try and go broad and appeal to everyone, it won't work. Trust me, no one is going to be liked by everyone, and by trying to be broad and in the middle, you're not really going to build a very loyal fan base. On the other hand, if you just go intense and all in on a specific niche or group of people, you will build a much more loyal fan base, and you will be able to better create content that specifically serves those people and really stands out to them. Now, the second thing you can try and add to your content to improve it to the point where it's going to get better reach on hashtags is making it more clickable. And this is something that people focus massively on YouTube, but you don't really see that many people looking at with Instagram. Now, when you search a hashtag on Instagram, it comes up with a ton of content. Your goal is to be the most enticing piece of content on that hashtag so that someone searches this hashtag and they see 10 or 20 or 30 pieces of content and they click on yours. Instagram will notice this, and if that becomes a trend where more people are clicking on your piece of content as opposed to anyone else's, Instagram will push yours to the top of the pile. That's pretty much how search-based algorithms such as hashtags, YouTube SEO, etc. work. If you create the most enticing, most clickable piece of content, you will rank at the top and stay there, assuming it's actually good. And when people do click on it, they do spend time on it. And Instagram are tracking like hundreds and hundreds of data points, so they know what content is being enjoyed the most. Now, to make your content more clickable, in all honesty, it comes down a lot to what I talked about before, creating content that really speaks to your target audience so that when it shows up on that hashtag, they can click on it. But it also comes down to getting better at design and learning how to create more beautiful content, which isn't my expertise. I'll be straight up with you. I'm not great at design. I outsource all of my design work for clients and so on to my team who help me create amazing content that does rank on hashtags for clients. But by sharpening these skills up, and maybe that means that you watch a bunch of YouTube videos on how to design better, maybe it means you go to Skillshare or Udemy or something like that to improve your design skills. I'm not sure exactly, but by doing that, you can massively increase your hashtag reach. Now, the third thing that you can do to improve your hashtag reach, and this sort of flows on from this previous point about creating content that is clickable, and that is the style of content that you're using. Now, at the moment, two styles of content which is doing really well for the reason of A, it's very clickable, and B, it holds a high retention rate, so people spend a lot of time on that content, which Instagram like, is Instagram Reels and carousel style content. And this will rank better on hashtags. You'll notice if you go to a hashtag, the first piece of content will more often than not be an Instagram Reel. And if you click on it, it brings up a ton of Instagram Reels. So if you can create Instagram Reels and carousels, and on the first slide, you call out a solution to a problem that your target audience have, which was what I talked about in the first tip of this video, you can get awesome results. Because your content shows up on the hashtag and maybe someone is searching hashtag golf tips. And then your Instagram Reel pops up with 4 tips to improve your score next round, which anyone who's interested in golf is going to want to click on. You click on it, there's a high watch time, that content is going to rank better. Same goes for carousels. It is really easy to create a first slide which has got big and bold text that really speaks out to a problem that you are solving with your content that your target audience has. Because you can have big and bold text, people click on it, swipe across to learn the tips. And that's how a lot of accounts, especially in the coaching space, have just blown up, is by doing this style of content that has got a strong thumbnail, and then people click on it and then they can enjoy the rest of the content, spend a lot of time on Instagram, love it. So I would suggest adapting your style of content to what is working really well. Now, in 6 months time, in 12 months time, it might be different. Yeah, it could be. I'm not sure. But creating that style of content will help you a lot. Now, I can pretty much guarantee that if you do those 3 things, firstly, you start to better understand who your audience is and how you can serve them. Stop trying to target everyone and go for a very specific character, avatar, whatever it might be. And then second, you start creating content that is more clickable to those people. Again, something people do a lot on YouTube and is very successful, but you need to bring that to Instagram if you want to improve your results with hashtags, because hashtags are really a search engine. So make the content more clickable by really speaking to what they're trying to achieve, what they're trying to learn, how you can best help them, how you can solve a problem, and so on. And then editing it in a way that looks great to, again, make it more clickable. And then third, create content types that are currently working really well on Instagram to fulfill the goals of those first 2. And those content formats at the moment is Instagram Reels and carousels. That may, as I said, adjust over time, but at the moment, they're the 2 that are doing really well. And if you can nail those 3 things, what's going to happen is when people see your content pop up on a hashtag, they're going to be more likely to click on it. And when they click on it, they're likely to spend more time on it. And by increasing those 2 metrics, you're going to see way better results in your hashtags, because Instagram will notice that a higher percentage of people are clicking on your content relative to the competition, and they're spending more time on your content relative to the competition. And when your numbers are better than your competition, Instagram are going to rank you higher. That's pretty much how I've noticed it works. The better The more you improve on these things, the more you sharpen your skills over time, the more reach you're going to get, because at the end of the day, Instagram is hungry for great content and they're hungry to get it and put it in front of people who want to enjoy it. So you simply have to pick who you're trying to create content for and just make it amazing for those people, and then they're going to engage with it. Instagram are going to realize this, and it's going to get pushed out to more of those people. So I know this video was a little bit all over the show, but hopefully that was helpful. If you did enjoy it, like the video, subscribe, and just let me know what you thought in the comments, any feedback you've got, any video suggestions you may have. Hopefully that helped, and I will see you all in the next one.